So I made a bunch of different things, and I'll put some of the graphics up on social. There are 33 basketball players from the state of North Carolina participating in the NCAA tournament this year. I want to say there's only two. I think three. Duke, UNC, NC State, the only three North Carolina-based teams in the tournament.
Yep.
What are you excited about? What are you looking for? That could be first round, or that could be like, down the road what you want to see.
I'm going to tell you what I'm looking forward to. UNC Arizona.
Yes.
They're in the
Elite Eight potential.
Elite Eight potential. They're in the same bracket. And that's why I said the other day on Twitter, I said, the NCAA terms is such a soap opera. Like,
strategically.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Same way they did on the women's bracket where they put LSU and Iowa.
That one's an interesting move.
Yeah. So
that's an interesting move to have that not be in the Final Four.
Yeah. So again, but that's what I'm looking forward to the most. Obviously, man, I'm looking forward to seeing the North Carolina guys compete and have a show on the big stage. Mainly two guys I'm looking at here that have like pro potential. Robert Dillingham from Kentucky and Jonas Adu from Tennessee. I know we got Jonas there on the list, but those two guys have a chance to obviously. Rob is going to solidify his top 5 status, but a guy like Jonas.
Well, this is what you're talking about with Rob.
Yes.
Because I keep seeing it more and more. Mm-hmm. What teams are looking at now is Rob's a lottery pick.
Top 5.
Done. Lottery pick. The question now is the teams that are going to have those top 5 picks, are people going to look at us crazy if our number 1 pick is Robert Dillingham? Mm-hmm. I think the answer now is no.
Right.
Now the question is there anyone else, and it would be, I would imagine it'd be an overseas player. Yep. Is there anybody who we trust more than him? And
the answer
is things Calipari have been saying about Robert Dillingham all season, NBA people trust Calipari the most with his opinion. To hear the things Cal has said about Rob this year, I would imagine NBA execs are like,
he's got to be right.
Please come.
But look at his track record of guards that Calipari's had in his Kentucky era. Like, he's hit multiple times.
Correct.
So, and he's another one. So now here's the conversation with shifting with Rob, though. Now people were looking at him before as a microwave scorer off the bench type guy. Now they're looking at him because the way he can facilitate. They're like, is he a scoring point guard who can facilitate, i.e. like a Darius Garland or a Kyrie Irving, dare I say. You know what I mean? So that's why the conversation of number 1 is coming into play.
I think that's the name that should come with him the most.
Kyrie.
His handle, his creativity, and his ability to score and pass. Like, Rob is whoever you want him to be. Like, from a player standpoint, he can do whatever you want him to do. This is always the question with Carolina. Do you think that they got their bracket? Do you find their bracket to be an easy path, a tough path? It looks like they would have is potentially Tom Izzo in the second round.
No, they're going to play Mississippi State.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Shaquille Moore for us.
Yep.
Or Tom Izzo. Obviously, Izzo is always going to get the nod. I think the reason I said it like that is because I think Michigan State's favored.
Really?
From the betting odds.
It's crazy because Mississippi State beat the hell out of Tennessee last week.
And I think, I could see Charleston figuring out their way to wiggle in to see them. But the first matchup they would run into that people would really give it out is if they find Arizona in that Elite Eight, and then you got RJ versus Caleb, which anybody who knows anything about Carolina basketball will be glued to that game.
100%.
NC State, crazy championship run. Everyone in our area is talking about that. I hate to say it, seems obvious, but those kids are going to be dead.
Yeah.
Maybe they can steal one off, but if they do, they play Robert Dillingham in the second round. And that would be so sick.
And so that's where I think NC State has a chance to go to the Sweet 16. And as crazy as it sounds,
for sure.
But shit, what they've done over the last week has never been done. And I really want to talk about that too. We'll get to this point. We're really going to dive into that here. But Kentucky doesn't guard.
No, Kentucky can lose in the first round.
Absolutely.
Kentucky is one of many teams that can lose in the first round or win the national championship.
And I think right now, NC State's probably one of the most dangerous teams in the tournament to play because even though they play 5 games in 5 days, they're a team with extreme confidence right now. They believe they can beat anybody in the country. You beat Duke, Virginia, UNC in consecutive days. You feel like you could beat anybody in the country, especially in a year of college basketball where there's a lot of parity.
Yeah.
Not to say they can win it, but hell, Sweet 16 is not out of the question for them.
No, I think what worries me is history. Historically speaking, the way this goes is State does the unthinkable. 5 wins, 5 days, first ACC championship since the year they won the national championship or whatever the stats are, right? Mm-hmm. We're excited. 11 seed. We can beat that 6 seed, no problem. Oh, Kentucky in the second round, they're beatable. They up all the time. We can make it to the Sweet 16. We can go around and make it to the Elite 8. Yeah, that's what state fans do, and then you show up in round 1, you score 14 points in the first half, and you're like, what happened? Where's that team from last week?
Right. They left it all in D.C.
I don't want that to happen.
Yep.
But that's what scares me about, like, betting on NC State. Or I will say I bet on them in the championship game to cover. Didn't think they'd win. Thought they'd cover. Shout out to them for winning me some money. But I'm going to bet on them against Texas Tech because I want to see Kentucky play NC State. I think that would be fun. But it scares me. NC State is very much a double-edged sword.
No,
a team that should not be in the tournament at all.
No, 100%. So, shout out to Keeks and that staff, man, for getting those guys to buy in.
Did not know ACC tournament win automatically resigns him for 2 years. That's hilarious.
Absolutely. So that's a big jiggle my snacks.
That is hilarious.
And that's what my tweet was like. Everybody, before the week started, they was like, "Oh, this is it." We have some very prominent state insiders who were saying, "Oh, this is it for Keeks."
He was at home with his wife after that win with a Denzel laugh. Very similar to that. Training day laugh.
No, I'm excited for those guys, man. I just think. Like DJ Horn, the basketball he's playing, man, for him to come back home to Raleigh's hometown, a school that he dreamed of playing of growing up, like, and to do what he's doing, it's amazing.
His reaction after they won the championship was awesome. It was like very genuine, and I don't know if you've been paying attention to it, but like DJ Burns your Barstool signed DJ Burns to a merch deal.
Absolutely.
That like people are all about DJ Burns.
Man, so we went on to the football game back in September, and we were literally with DJ, bro. Every time
he was with us at the wall.
Yes, he was up there. Yeah. But like every 5 seconds, somebody's coming up to him like old rich white people. Oh my God, DJ, I love you. And it's the point I was just like cha-ching.
I remember seeing him in 8th grade. He was not much smaller than he is right now.
Yeah.
And I remember telling Kendrick with Team Wall at the time, I was like, dude, that kid, I don't know, I wasn't right, but what I said was at the time, like, this kid's got some Zach Randolph in him, like he could be a pro. Now, take in mind, I'm looking at an 8th grader who's basically the same size as he is right now.
Right.
So development-wise, it didn't get there, but DJ's always soft touch, soft hands, good feet, big dudes, and the thing that people love about him is like, big heart, super lovable.
Super approachable.
Yeah.
No,
and I love anytime I can see Breon on the floor. I'm all about that.
Yeah. I'm screaming at the TV. Shoot it.
Yeah. Same. Yeah. Hagen's annoyed by me because I'm just like, 10! Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, let's see. Boom, them. Duke State, if they could make it to the Elite 8, they could see a Duke. Same side as Tennessee, which would be in the Final Four. Mm-hmm. I've heard a lot of kind of Tennessee in a similar spot. It's like they could go all the way. Yeah. They could lose in the first round. Yeah. I've got them in the Final Four, I do believe.
I think I do, too. I just think, they have a superstar in college basketball. Dalton Connect is a superstar.
That's the guard.
Yeah, the wing. Yep.
Mm-hmm. See, I thought that because one of the only knocks I heard was that sometimes their team gets caught watching him.
Yep.
I would hope that in a tournament
said they could.
Barnes is smart enough to like
let him do his thing,
move around a little bit. Let's get it moving.
Yeah, but I'm super happy and impressed the way with Jonas has played this year. Jonas he probably should have won most. I don't know if they had most improved player in the SEC, but if they had that award, he should have won it.
Right.
He's put himself in a position to
starting to show up on draft boards.
Go to that next level. So I think a really solid tournament run, like showcasing his full bag. I would
imagine a good tournament performance sets up all what he would need to do next year is be consistent and healthy, and then it's probably time for agents and phone calls and stuff like that.
Well, I think that's already happened.
No, I mean in terms of like the conversation advancing to we need to go.
We need to go.
We need to get up out of here.
Yeah, no, for sure. I would be surprised if he didn't declare this year.
How much Auburn have you watched this year?
A lot. So truthfully, I watch SEC more than anybody because there's so many our guys there. Rob, Biz, Silas.
How do you like Auburn's chances to get to Connecticut in I think they would play them in the Elite Eight.
That would be a battle, but Connecticut's just a little too good.
They're good. UConn's like too good, and they're too deep, and they're too. The only thing I don't like about them is they won last year.
Yep.
Super hard to do it again, and their bracket is not easy.
No, not at all.
But I do like. I did my. Here's the thing. Every year I do my bracket. I try to do it like I know something, and that never works. It never works. It just that's not the way the NCAA tournament is played. I went strictly with like what I want. I've got Kentucky winning the whole thing because that's what I want. I've got Auburn beating UConn. That's what I want. Tennessee beating. And my whole deal is exactly how I want it to play out. So it's not going to. But if it does, y'all might want to unfollow me on Twitter because I will become the most annoying person on the internet, without a doubt.
I think everybody knows at this point we're pro Robert Dillinghamers. So
I'm simple too. Like I want to see them win because we will never see Rob play college basketball ever again.
Nope.
This is it.
Yep.
So I want 5, 6 games, whatever it is. I want to see as much as I can.
The experience.
I am terrified they lose in the first round. I'm terrified they lose in the first round. They shouldn't.
They shouldn't.
But neither should no other team. That's how the tournament works.
We'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. I'm locked in all day.
Yep.
Who do you think wins it all?
I'm gonna go. I think UConn's going to win it. I think they're going to repeat. I just think they're just a step
I think
above.
smart money would say UConn.
I would, if I had to bet in the Final Four, I would probably say Houston. Houston's also in the Final Four. I would say Houston's in the national championship game.
K-Town.
Yep. Because because, shout out to our guys, Kellen, my guy Kellen Sampson out there.
I didn't know Damon Dunn was on that team.
Yeah, he's like the sixth man.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I learned a lot finding all the North Carolina players. I went through every all 68 teams rosters to find all of the players listed from North Carolina.
Right. Nah, I'm excited for them, man. They sit down and guard the shit out of the basketball. Another team to watch out for, man, is Iowa State. I just been watching basketball.
Right.
Iowa State's one of those teams that's really scary, really fucking good.
Same one where it's could make it all the way, could lose in the second or third round.
Yeah, so it's gonna be exciting. But if I had to pick, I'm gonna go UConn. I think Carolina has a good chance as well, but I just sometimes with Carolina, you just they shit bad sometimes, and
Armando Bacot is gonna need to play like it's the last time he ever plays college basketball.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But I'm just saying, like for Carolina, RJ's gonna have to be on fire every game. But Armando, as a big, he's gonna have to be.
That's what he has imposed as well.
Yeah.
Armando and the Cormac Ryan and Harrison Ingram, those guys, they were no shows against State.
Yep.
You have for Carolina to make a deep run, those guys have to be locked in. Man.
And if losing to NC State in a championship game doesn't wake you the fuck up, I'm not really sure what will.
That's a fact.
If I was a betting man, and I might be now, I might want to take Carolina on that 20-something point spread in that first round.
Yeah.